Hello everyone, I am here to talk about Helene in Asheville. Here. So, the 27th of September 2024 was the beginning of a 1,000-year flood that decimated the city of Asheville, along with many surrounding towns. I remember that terrifyingly dreadful late September night quite vividly. In bed with my cats, in shock, white-knuckled, fetal position, staring out my window for hours. All I could hear was the sound of tall, towering trees, cracking, splintering, and falling to the ground, along with booming thunder echoing through the mountains that surrounded my home. All I could focus on was hoping my partner was safe, and he was, but without power or service. I did not find out until mid-next day when he came and picked me up. I did not get a wink of sleep that night, and neither did most of Western North Carolina. Places all around WNC had already received anywhere from 14 to 30 inches of rain for 2 straight days, directly preceding the harsh arrival of Hurricane Helene heading up from the Gulf Coast. Fully saturated soils and high-level rivers strained the area's very little resilient infrastructure, making most of the systems already at full capacity only a day before Helene reached the Blue Ridge Mountains. So, this sleepless September night marked the start of a collectively traumatic, continuous period of transformation and hardship that will continue for many years to come. But thankfully, we can always find beauty in struggle. I moved to Asheville at the end of 2023 to support the community and environment of the nearby town of Woodfin. The town of Woodfin is a unique, tight-knit place close to Asheville. It is generally a lower income area with a more diverse population in comparison to the rest of the city. As a program and volunteer specialist with the town, serving nearly 1.5 years through AmeriCorps Project Power, it was my responsibility to develop volunteer and public programs, arts, parks, etc., as well as create and lead volunteer-based events. Unfortunately, earlier this May, my AmeriCorps program was eliminated, but before then, I was making a significantly positive impact in the town. On the 8th and 9th of March, 2025, myself and 2 leaders from partner nonprofits, John Stamper and Amaya Tips of Mountain True and Greenworks Asheville, worked together to develop and lead a large cleanup event. We intended to clean up one of the most beloved parks in Woodfin, the small but mighty Silverline Park, which was nearly destroyed by the flooding of the French Broad River, the FDR. This park sits right next to a plastics manufacturing company. Therefore, there was a lot for us to clean up. Full bags of oxidized polyethylene, many of which were split, spilling into the soil and into the wetlands. Hundreds of PVC pipes of various sizes, ample plastic packaging, hundreds of pounds of organic debris, bricks, and more were littered all over the ground, in the trees, in the built wetlands, in the drainage areas and riverbanks. Over the course of that Saturday and Sunday, March 2025, we had a huge turnout of over 100 volunteers working hard all day, both days, to clean up Silverline Park. By Sunday, we ran out of items to pick up. The fact that this led to the point where the park was usable and safe to attend, all while maintaining huge smiles, the desire to connect and eagerness to help is simply astounding to me. These angelic community volunteers were really doing the work that was supposed to be done by paid government workers and contractors, those who instead hijacked response and prevented more immediate, before the end of 2024, post-storm cleanups, and they damaged riverbanks by pulling as much debris as they possibly could, no matter the harm to the ecosystems, to get paid more based on the verbiage stated in their contracts, skimming over all the small things that we picked up for them. When governing institutions, the volunteers were doing this work without complaint, with an air of hopeful bliss, simply because they have a need to go outside. They need a place to connect with their community. In times of crisis, people need to feel useful. to cope with the feeling of deep helplessness. When governing institutions, which we've been told exist to support us in times of emergency, fail to fulfill their stated duties, it is still possible for communities to pull through on their own in spite of it all. There is immense importance in realizing the fortitude of a bolstered and bonded community and the power we find when we work as a collective. I can thank you, Hurricane Helene, for one thing and one thing only. I'm grateful you proved to me, albeit through brute force, that community is truly the only way. We all need each other now. We are all that we have to rely on. Thank you.